Hey everyone, I'm Wes Carr, and for this video lesson we're going to be taking a look at how to play the Golden Eagle Hornpipe on the guitar. This is a great lesson if you're trying to work up your right hand picking technique or if you're trying to develop the ability to shift positions cleanly in the middle of your playing. If you want, you can find the tabs to this video lesson on my website, www.rwesleycarr, or you can find them on my Patreon page, which I'll put in the description below. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can stay up to date on all the guitar, mandolin, banjo, and resonator videos I put out. Alright guys, so like I said in the intro, this song's a great way to develop your right hand picking technique. And in fact, if you have the tab in front of you, you're going to notice that there are a lot of zeros in this song, meaning that we're going to be playing a lot of open strings. And it's really going to be our right hand that's going to be responsible for playing the song, at least for the A section. So it's going to be important that you develop a really good right hand technique while you play it. For a song like this, I like to use alternate picking, which means that every time I'm on a downbeat, I go down. Anytime I'm on an offbeat, I go back up. So that means eighth notes are always going to be down, up, quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes are all going to just be down. So let's take a look at kind of the tab itself. We're going to be starting with two pickup notes, an open B, and then the second fret of the G string, we're going to play an A. And that's going to take us into our first full measure. So we start on the downbeat playing a G. We're going to go up to play the second fret of the A string, the B. And I like to use my middle finger for that. We're going to go down on the open D, up on an open G, down again on an open B, move back up and play an open D, down on an open G, and up on an open B. And that's the first full measure. From there, you're going to play the third fret of the B string, the D note. You're going to go up for an open G, hit an open B, and then go back to the third fret and play your D. Now with this, we're going to have a slide up to the 8th fret so that we can hit the next two notes, which are both going to be in the 5th position. So we're actually playing a G here. For that slide, I don't actually usually pick the G. I'm going to ghost strum it instead so I can keep my timing. So it's a down strum, but I'm not actually playing the string. So I've gone up on that D leading into it, and I slide into that G, and I still keep the hand motion just so I can feel comfortable. So from there, play the 7th fret of your E string to play a B, 5th fret of the E to play an A. We're going to go back to that G on the 8th fret of our B string. Next, we have a little walk down. It's going to be an F sharp on the 7th fret of B, E on the 5th fret. We're going to move over to our G string and play 7, 6, 5. So a little chromatic walk there, and that's going to be D, C sharp, C. Go over to your D string, play the 7th fret, which is the A, the 4th fret, which is the F sharp, and your D, your open D. So now we're into measure 4, which is the last measure of the first line, and the closing measure for our main theme, at least the first time we play it. So to play that, we're playing a G with a B, and I like to play it on the 4th fret to keep it on the same fret, or the same string, so the 4th fret of the G string, but you could play an open B if you want. To your A on the 2nd fret, open G, F sharp on the 4th fret of the D string, and then open D. And the 4th measure ends off with pickup notes leading us back in, the same pickup notes that we started with. So those pickup notes are leading us back into that main kind of theme, which we're going to play again for the second line. the second line, on measure 8, the first ending, we start to change just a little bit. So the first half is just about the same. We're still playing an open G, the B on the 4th fret, 2nd fret of A, but then instead of going to the G again, we're going to go down to the F sharp, which is the 4th fret of the D string, and then a quarter note G, open G. And so the first ending will lead us back in again with pickup notes, and you'll start right back at the very first measure. Now this time we're going to skip the first ending, go straight into that second ending, and you'll see if you have the tab in front of you that it has different pickup notes that lead us into that B section. So from there we go back up to our 4th or 5th position, however you want to look at it, and we're going to play a B on the 7th fret with our pinky, an A sharp on the 6th fret. And that's going to bring us into measure 10, which is the beginning of that third line, starting on that B again. And so starting on the second note of the third line, we're going to go down an octave and play our lower B, and we're going to want to bar both the G string and the B string on the 4th fret. So you're going to play the G followed by the B, and you're going to reach up with your pinky and play the 7th fret of your B string. And again, you're going to probably want to bar here as well, because you're going to play the B one more time. You're going to go down to the 5th fret of the E string to play the A, and we're going to have a really small position shift. We're just going to move up 1 fret, and that's going to take us into the last 2 notes of measure 10. We're going to play a G on the 8th fret of the B string, and then an F sharp on the 7th fret of the B string. You're going to go back to your G on the 8th fret of your B string, play the A on the 5th fret of your E string, F sharp on the 7th fret of the B string, and then G on the 8th fret of the B string. You're going to play your E on the B string, and you're just going to walk up 7, 8. And to end the next measure, measure 11, we're going to play the the G sharp on the 4th fret of the E string. And then move that up to your 5th fret, which is the A. And so from there, you're going to want to pretty much get right into an A shape on the guitar, so an A chord shape in the 5th position. So you're going to bar the E string and the B string with your pointer finger on the 5th fret. Play the 6th fret with your middle finger, the 6th fret of the G string, and then reach over with your ring finger to play the 7th fret of the D string. So from that G sharp, we're moving G sharp, A, playing the D string, the G string, the B string, and then the E string again. And so you're going to continue in measure 12 now. We're in the second half of measure 12. You're going to reach up with your ring finger and play a B on the 7th fret, back to the A on the 5th, move over to your B string, and hit that G again on the 8th fret. And you're going to go down to 7, 8, 5, 7. So F sharp, G, E, F sharp, and then reach over. I usually will use my, my middle finger, and I'll reach over and play the D with my middle finger, and that's going to be on the 7th fret of the G string. All right, so we're going to be getting now into that last bit of measure 13, where we have that little triplet run on the E string, playing 5, 6, 7, or A sharp, B. And you're going to want to make a position shift up into the 8th fret, and you're going to play the same chord shape that you played down when we did that A chord. Except now we're doing it over a C, so our pointer finger should be on the 8th fret. So we're starting with that C note on the E string, which is a quarter note, which means we're going to follow with another down. So we're going to play down, down, up, down. So you're playing E string, B, G, D. So 8, 8, 9, 10. And from there, you're just going to move your pointer finger and middle finger back 1 fret and play your G and your B again. Use your pinky up on the 10th fret of the B string and play your A note. And you're going to go down to the 8th fret of your B string. Play 8, 7, 8, 10. Or G, F sharp, G, A. Then move your pointer finger over, hit the B on the 7th fret of the E string, G on the 8th fret of your B string again, the A on the 10th fret of the B, and back to the G on the 8th fret. And from here, we're going to be playing something that's pretty much exactly the same as measure 7 and 8 that we had earlier. If you don't remember, we're going to go through that again. So that's 7 on the B string, 5 on the B string, so F sharp to E, back to that D, C sharp, C chromatic walk down, so that's 7, 6, 5 on the G string. Reach over and play the A on the 7th fret of the D string, the F sharp on the 4th fret of D, open D, and then back to that little closing lick. So open G, 4th fret to play the B, 2nd fret of G to play the A, F sharp on the 4th fret of the D string, back to G. I think the trickiest part of that is getting that transition back down. And you're going to see that I actually will play the F sharp still in the 7th fret position before going down to the E in the 5th position. And so that takes us into the first ending of the B section, which the last 2 notes there are just the same pickup notes that led us into the B section in the first place. And so from there, we're basically just going to repeat the B section one more time. And here, we're just going to end with that same G that we had before, but we're going to make it a a half note instead of the quarter note that we had before. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it helped. If it did, feel free to give it a like and a share, as that'll really help out the channel. If you have any tunes or tricks that you want me to cover, leave those in the comments and I'll try to get to them if I can. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe to the page and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all the guitar, mandolin, banjo, and resonator videos I put out. I look forward to seeing you again, but until then, good luck and happy picking.